in 1971, Genesis released their album Nursery Cryme, and my friend Michael and I are going to talk about it on this episode of Records with Ray. It's hard to compare any Genesis song to Supper's Ready, in my opinion. I think that is their tour de force.
It is. It's definitely the longest, but it is absolutely one of the most complex and it's the most.
But Musical Box is incredible. It has all the different parts. It has the different time changes.
And it definitely has a soul to it where you're following along with it and you're following the story and it just lulls you in serenity and into conflict and into rage.
Yeah.
But it's done so beautifully that it just flows almost effortlessly.
Yeah. It flows. Well, that took a lot of effort, though.
It flows.
I remember
Want to read that one again?
I think the Musical Box might have been like the first song I heard from early Genesis, because again, being a product of the 80s, being a teenager of the 80s, like Genesis to me was like Abacab, No Reply at All.
Abacab if you're lucky.
Turn It On Again. Like those were the songs.
Right.
And then like you get into the 80s and it's just like, and I remember hearing Musical Box first and I'm like, all right, first of all, that's not Phil Collins singing.
Nope.
And then you hear that it's Peter Gabriel, and you're like, Peter Gabriel as in like Sledgehammer?
Yeah, Peter Gabriel was part of Genesis.
Yeah.
No one knows that he was one of the founders.
No, actually, now I think about it, no, he was doing like Shock the Monkey.
That was.
And don't get me wrong, that's good stuff, but I would have never thought that he was like the first. I mean, again, forever, like as far as I knew Genesis, they were a 3-piece band, but when they did Nursery Cryme, it was a 5-piece band.
Yep.
It's Steve Hackett.
That was the first album where, the band had Peter Gabriel, lead man, vocalist, and songwriter.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tony Banks, keyboard player, guitar player, and that's when they brought in the Melanome. Mm-hmm. And you had Michael Rutherford on bass. And I say on bass loosely because he was also doing guitar and 12-string guitar. Then they were doing a lot. But that was the first album that after a tour, they brought in Steve Hackett.
Yeah.
And they brought in a drummer that they thought was worthy of their skills, which was Phil Collins. Which also, he could do lyrics, but I like this.
Hold on, you were saying that was the first album that Phil Collins was on?
Yes, it was. It was. They had 3 albums.
I didn't know that.
Let's see, they had...
Trespass
was number 2. Genesis.
When Phil Collins doesn't play drums on that?
Nope.
Oh.
Nope. It was... Phil Collins came in on number 3. Yeah, he was touring before the album, and he came in on by number 3. So they just thought he was amazing. He had a great work ethic, and he just added as part of some of the songs and a bit of levity to it. And I like the person who said he doesn't sound unlike Peter Gabriel.
Yeah.
I mean, great praise.
Yeah, tell me about it. But speaking of Peter Gabriel, again, it's like
phenomenal.
I remember, I started finding pictures. I started seeing pictures of like what Genesis looked like back then, and like all the other guys, they just look like prog rock guys. Steve Hackett was wearing like glasses, which was kind of weird. But then Peter Gabriel was like wearing like costumes and masks, and he's wearing a cape, and he has like all this other shit.
Shaving his
it's a weird ass haircut where it's like, dude, that's not a hairdo, that's a hair don't.
Your forehead's gonna progress naturally that way anyway. Don't rush it.
Yeah, hold on to it as much as you can. But I knew something was up with this Peter Gabriel guy when we get to the end of Musical Box. And he gets to that part where it comes out of the prog rock part, and everything's like all quiet, and he's like, "She's a lady, she is mine. Push back your head and let me get to know your face." And I'm like, all right, okay, yeah. I guess that's Peter Gabriel being romantic, I suppose. And then he comes back again. He goes, "Push back your hair and let me get to know your flesh. And I'm like, okay, what's going on here? It's like, okay, that's creepy.
Yeah,
This guy's coming at rock and roll from a different angle.
that was part of the gist of the song was in Nursery Crimes. It was based on nursery rhymes where if you look at the album, you see the girl with the croquet album. Well, the idea was a 8-year-old and 9-year-old were playing croquet, and the little girl took her mallet and knocked the little boy's head off. Yeah. And his spirit went into the musical box. And when it took her a while to find it, when she'd open it, the ghost would come out, and he would be there. And it wasn't until later when they got into adolescence and all that, and other urges came in, and that's where he wanted to move things forward. And then, of course, it wasn't happening, and that's when she broke the musical box. So that's why the rage, it kind of builds up into desire and rage, and that's when the musical box gets broken.
Can you imagine trying to sell that musical idea to your bandmates?
It gets better because the story was that the album, the band didn't think the album was well promoted, and some of the band members thought that it would have beat out Stairway to Heaven because it was released at the same time. It's kind of hard to picture.
Hold on a second. Well, the thing about Stairway to Heaven, what's the song Stairway to Heaven about? Well, it's about a woman who's trying to buy her way into heaven.
Right.
What's the musical box about?
A murdered child in a musical box and grows into adolescence. It's like, come on, it's not the same thing.
If the explanation of what the song is about is over 2 sentences, then that means you should... And that means it's a song that Rush should be playing. Yeah. What are some of your favorite songs on the album?
Well, the thing is, there's some amazing songs on there.
And there's some amazing song titles too.
Well, Harold the Barrel, which is a very, that's the one that actually Phil Collins.
Harold the Barrel
cut off his toes and served them all for tea. It's supposed to be the whimsical one, but it's pretty tragic.
I got one word for you. They're all on drugs.
It's a bit warped. It was a bit warped.
They're all on drugs.
Let's see. Oh, well, For Friends Not There, that's a melancholy song of an older couple about loss.
There you
go. Which follows right after that one.
That's very linear. That's very...
Oh, but Attack of the Giant Hogweed, which is another one on that. Musically, that one is just amazing.
Attack of the Giant Hogweed.
The Attack of the Giant Hogweed. Again, Nursery Crymes. I love it when someone reviewing the album called it Victorian progressivism.
Imagine someone who's writing the record review for this album, and they're like, and then we get to the song. What was the song called?
Which one?
Attack of the Giant
Hogweed.
And then when you get to the Attack of the Giant Hogweed, like the person thinking like, I never thought in my life that I'd have to type out that statement. Did this album do well?
No.
I'm not surprised.
It didn't. It was actually, in England, it was a bit of a flop again. They were kind of blaming publicity. But the funny thing is, because...
it's not their terrible song titles.
Well, and then when you go to places where they don't speak English, like Belgium, it went to number 1. Oh, which is amazing about that album is just the fact that the notes are so complex and they're bouncing around and all. And there's Phil Collins on his drums just keeping up with that, which is one of the things I was incredibly impressed about because it's just something that he was just listening and keeping up. He wasn't just doing a straight 4/4 beat to it or a 7/8 beat. No, he's just flowing along with the song. Not easy to do.
No.
But what's amazing about it, you could tell he's just doing it without even thinking about it. Which is, again, one of the reasons I think Phil Collins is is an amazing drummer and one of my favorites.
Yeah, he's a great drummer. Not a good-looking guy, though.
Back in those days, he wasn't bad. He still had hair.
No, he didn't. He lost that shit really, really quickly.
No, that was Peter Gabriel who shaved his hair. But no, Phil, I think at that point, had more hair than...
Is that like Peter Gabriel was cutting his hair to make fun of Phil Collins? Hey, look at me, I have a full head of hair. What you got?
I did this on purpose.
Dick. Someday I'm going to be the front man. No, you're not. Look at you.
You're on the band, which is another thing, by the way. I'm sorry. I'm playing drums and I'm doing background vocals.
You're losing your hair, and at this point you have a full beard.
Maybe you should stand on your head.
And then Genesis goes on to be huge with Phil Collins singing.
Nursery Crymes, by the way, they only sold... as of a few years ago, 66,000 albums. It only reached silver level.
That's
to this day.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's again, we wouldn't call it a commercial success, but we would call it more of cult following.
Yeah.
But again, Genesis as a whole doing the commercial success, which is fine. But my moment with Phil Collins, I was in Dodger Stadiums at the Invisible Touch tour, and again, at this point, this is way past the album. They wouldn't even play the old stuff, and their idea is, when they played the old stuff, it was part of a 3-minute medley.
The old stuff was Abacab.
So they would do a Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, Foxtrot, the Nursery Crimes medley, which takes about 3 minutes. It's like, what the hell was that? But so I was there, and he's doing a song, and I'm in the 7th row, and it was just no energy there. This is the full Dodger Stadium. The place is packed. I'm on the field, and the stadium is full. So I had a friend who worked at Ticketmaster, so I got great seats, and I'm standing there, and again, no energy. And I got my arms crossed and standing, and Phil Collins is up on stage. He's got his tambourine. He's going along with the song. And we made eye contact. And he looks at me, because I'm standing there not doing anything. And it was about a good 2 seconds, and I just give this shrug. And he kind of looks at me and goes, yeah, shrug. Kind of going along the same thing. True story. Because he said, okay, you're just going through the motions here. It's like, yep.
Do you think there were people in... Play Attack of the Giant Hogweed! Harold the Barrel!
Something before 1980, please!
It wasn't Kung Fu, right? You gotta have that on there. What? You'll just cut it out.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the whole concept, Susan, is like, but you gotta stop talking, and then we'll start.
I love our optimism.
No, you just wait. Somehow, like, Susan's gonna come out through a trap door. Hey guys, I wanted to interject with something. I need to do some more dishes right now. Hey gang, this is Ray, and I just want to say thank you very much for checking out my video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to see more videos, please click on the subscribe button. And if you like what you see, please give it a like. That would mean a lot to me. And if you're wondering why I'm wearing Hawaiian shirts, well, when I'm not talking about records, I'm talking about my other love, Tiki. I have a show called Tiki with Ray. If you want to check that show out, just search Tiki with Ray on YouTube. It'll come up.